All right, here you go. Here you go. We're back again. I know y'all missed us last week, but we're back, right? And we ready to go to work. We're boy with Coach Low for Life, aka the Camp King, and you are on the high school wrap up, and we're ready to go. I'm talking about a lot of action we missed last week, but we're ready for what went down this week. A lot of games that went down in Central Florida high school. Hey, the guys that was safe out there, the hurricane, it missed us so we can have a great Friday night. And some played on a Saturday night. So they blessed us to still play the best game on earth. That is football. And it all started right there with high school football because that's the next step to going to college. And you all know getting in college nowadays is very hard. Gotta have character, gotta have film, gotta have grade, and you better have a whole lot of exposure. They better know who you are nowadays. So your film better make it to the top. Make sure you at the camp so the camps can make sure they promote you. Because if you're at a camp, they get to see the film because they're gonna know who you are. The writer's gonna write, the film gonna roll, and you're gonna get recognized. And you know what? Friday night is where it starts at. Even though we know there's no off season, but it is a season right now, and that's football season. And I hope y'all ready for some high school football wrap up on Sunday night. Now I am with my boy, Mr. Right Choice. Hey, get well, Coach Katt. Get well. I know the babies got you locked down, but know what? We got Mr. Right Choice with me right here. So, Mr. Right
So
Choice,
yeah,
what's
well,
going on?
nothing going on. No, I'm gonna fill in for Cat a little bit today. Last week, I guess I was under the weather a little bit. My voice was gone. Now this week is Cat. So we missed a little bit this week. Plus the hurricane kind of threw a loop on a lot of things this week for us. A busy week, but at least we're on here today to go over go over our top 10 basically, and then we got some special kid that's gonna call in too today. So looking forward today getting back on track. We didn't get to get on here on Wednesday like we normally do. I apologize for that for everyone, but we're on here today, and we're gonna go ahead and kick it right off real quick with the top 10. So
Well, we ain't gonna play no games with the top 10 because the top 10, it's doing a lot of things. I call them doing magic tricks because you'll never know who's gonna be top, who's gonna be bottom. But one thing we do know, somebody always one team make sure they get it done. They make sure they get it done. I don't know how they doing it, but they are doing it, man. And well, here's what. You heard it first right here on Sports Club Florida. We told y'all day one that Jones High School is the team. We told y'all that. Everybody's talking Coco, this team, that team, all of them great team. But we know football, and we know football. So, hey, Jones High, Tiger, number one. And I tell you, Mr. Right Choice,
yeah,
when you
well,
can,
go
they did a
ahead.
lot of crazy things, matter right. They did a lot of crazy things this week. 7 days. I'm trying to make sure I'm right because I didn't know you even do that in high school football. In 7 days, is I'm correct that Jones? Well, it might be 8 days because they
Well, I'm
played one game on a Saturday. Remember, they played
so,
what 8 games? I mean, 3 games in 8 days.
so let's calculate it right here. So I got it right here. So they played Osceola on the Saturday, I believe.
Well, okay, so what seven
So
days? Yes.
Saturday, and then they played Winter Park on Tuesday, and then they played again. I think this was yesterday because I everybody was like, they played again on Saturday. So
Wow.
seven days that Jones played, and then the last game, Auburndale, you see the score 49-7, and then Coach Lowe, you see Jones
Yes, sir.
Winter Park 22-0, and then you saw they beat Osceola. So yeah, we do have the number one for a reason. I know a lot of people was bashing us talking about Coco should be number one, but Coco had definitely dropped because they're at 3-2 and Jones is undefeated. My thing with the whole Jones situation is if we had Jones number one at the beginning of the season, it made no sense to move them, even if we had them in front of Coco because they was winning. They never lost. That's
Well,
my thoughts on that. What you think,
Well,
Coach Lowe?
my thoughts is the same. I mean, especially when you come off of beating on an Edgewater, a top team like that, and then you come down here the next week and you go right and battle the mighty Osceola Cowboys. I mean, that was a game it within itself. Came down to the wire, and that was an overtime game, if I'm correct, 34-28 when all was said and done. And that game alone, You've seen a lot of great things. Every week, Jones Tiger seems to kind of have a new person that rises to the top. One week is Pernell Brown, the next week is Larry Miles, the next week is Demetri Pryor. Then you got the Robbins kid. You got all these kids every week. Someone rises to the top. When they put it all together, they are very hard to stop. And that week against Osceola, my God, did you see Deron Coleman that week? Deron
488.
Coleman, my God, the University of Miami commit, Deron Coleman, came in and put up 23 out of 35 passing completion, 488 passing yards, four passing touchdown, 9 carry for 46 yards. We call that insane.
He did very well that game, and them numbers definitely surprised me. They surprised me a lot. What surprised me on Osceola, I have to look at the stats again. They had 0 passing yards, so they ran. It looked like they ran the ball the whole game. I didn't actually physically see that game, but that's insane.
Well, insane because you got to remember. I think people have to remember about Osceola. Osceola came from that grit and that grind, that trenches mindset, single wing option attack for years and years and years. And like we said once before, and they had one of the best running backs ever came out of the country, to my opinion, Mr. Willie Green himself. And it is a tradition after tradition over there at Osceola. And my understanding, they decided to go back to running that ball downhill, down their throat. And when you can put up, 3 touchdowns on offense, I think they had 1 touchdown for kid ran it back. Here, what you got to think about: can kids now handle that physical beating every single play? 3 yards in the cloud of dust, 3 yards in the cloud of dust, 3 yards in the cloud of dust. That's 9 yards. Sometimes you get that 4, and I got a first down. Can they handle that pounding? And the reason I say no to a certain degree, because teams don't hit no more. They're
Yeah,
not physical. They don't have a mental mindset. They're not aggressive and crazy. I mean, they got a couple kids come down here to knock your helmet off, but it's not
ain't
the
nobody
same. It used to be.
Nobody doing Oklahoma drills.
I did all last year. I still did Oklahoma drill. I will say I went to youth football practice and did an Oklahoma drill, and man, it works. Even with a team like a Parker, they still do it. They don't call it Oklahoma; they call it a Nutcracker. They might not doing great on offense, but you're gonna play 4 quarters against. They don't care how much the score is. You're gonna play 4 quarters. They're gonna hit you. You're gonna know you've been hit, win or lose. And then Jones get to go up there and go play against Winter Park. Winter Park plays good football. But you got to expect Jones to be a little tired going to play against Winter Park. I think like 22-0. Winter
It
Park play
was.
good, sound, solid football, but they can be a little tired after an overtime game. But they still prevail to beat Winter Park 22-0. But then all said and done, hurricane hits, diversity hit, adversity hit. Things change. Here come Arbondale. They got a top freshman, All-American running back, sitting at 6'2", 200 pounds, and Anthony Howard Jr. They got a new coach over there this year,
I
different
like him.
mindset. And what I like about him, he just, hey, we got to go in with this mindset and just get it done. And of course, they didn't get it done against the mighty Jones Tigers. They actually lost that game, but they played to their abilities on a Saturday, and Jones Tigers sitting at number 1 on the Central Florida top team, Sports School of Florida. Shout out to Jones
Look,
Tigers.
man, another kid that went crazy. Michi, I don't remember that boy name, but sorry, you guys. Michi, then he got another
Demetrius
pick six.
Pryor. Demetrius Pryor.
That boy got another pick six. A freshman.
Wow. Yes, sir. I think that put him at 5 or 6 pick six.
Man, a freshman. I love this energy last year though for the Jags though. He was a running back though, but I love his energy, and I'm glad to see his energy out there on the football field at a young age, man. Just like putting his all out there. You can see the results too as well. So
Yeah.
much respect to him. So who we got next up, Coach Lowe?
Let's talk about the First Academy. Everybody kept talking about why the First Academy going through what they're going through and it's changing. It might put a hinder on them, but I don't think they're going to put a hinder on First Academy. I mean, they got a couple guys that have to go through some challenges here and there, but they still got good coaches. They still got good players. They don't, and now that they're actually starting to go into their district. See, they already battle tested. They don't beat everybody. Edgewater, it was the Lipscomb and
Let,
all the team
let
Heritage.
me. I'm gonna pull it up right now. So real quick, while you
They
just mentioned that, they
yeah, but they battle tested. So when you talk about TFA, that either with a full squad or a partial squad, they battle test. So now going into their district, don't they maintain, stay healthy? They're gonna run against another Buzz Hammer, a Buzz Saw, I think Charminade or somebody, but still though, they have the team. And teams are very tough to compete against TFA because you don't know what to expect. They finally got real different film on them and new film on them. So now the challenge is going to be better, but it's not going to be a challenge them on the field. But they might have to, maneuver a little bit different. You follow
So,
me?
question, real quick, your opinion from. So, do you think First Academy can challenge majority of the schools in not private schools here in Central Florida,
Oh,
like
without a
your
doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, it's not even a question that First Academy can line up against every single large class high school in here in Central Florida. Of course they can. You can line up against Edgewater. You can line up against Ocoee, Popka, everybody. You can line up against them. They have the players. They have the athletes. They have
well?
the coaches. They
let
can
me throw
line. They
this.
can line up against them.
Let me throw the wrenches out there. So we said Edgewater. Edgewater not even in our top 10 no more. So can we say that Edgewater has a down season, down year?
Well, I don't know so much of a down year because look who Edgewater lost against. They lost against the number one team in our top and one of the top national rate team, Jones Tiger, and they beat every single person, right? Yeah, think
Mm-hmm.
about that. That's who they lost against when all said and done. So you can't say that. You really can't
Okay.
say that. So they
So let
lost
me
against a top team.
So I'm gonna go through the scores real quick, you guys that's watching. So last week, TFA played Orlando OCP, Orlando Christian Prep, and the week before, they played against Atlanta Eagles First Academy. So last game 39-13, as you can see, and the week before they played Atlantic Eagles and DeBerry beat them 41-28. So doing the scores for the last two games from TFA, and let's see who they got up next. They playing the Eagles. You know who that is?
The
Raybon,
Reebok
Re, Re,
Raybon Eagle. Yeah, that's in another Christian school in their district. So, like I said, their district not really challenging. Even going back to OCP, where they beat them 39-13, it was a great game for the first half. But and I know I made a comment. I didn't understand. One of the coaches made a comment. I'm going to point it out right now. He made a comment about what they said what they should have done. Maybe the first half. I didn't really understand. I just said what. And maybe they took it wrong, but at the same time, it's just what it is. It don't matter if you play a team the first half, the second half. I'm gonna go in with the mindset. I'm gonna whoop you to death. I'm gonna beat you down, and no if man bust about it. You know what? But guess what? I might not do it in the first half like I expected. I might not. But you know what? When all said and done, at the end, when the fat lady sing, when it's done, it's done. It's over. It ain't over till it's over. 39-13, the win. Always remember, 1 point is a win. 2 points is a skunk. It's that simple. Look at Alabama and Georgia. You thought Alabama thought they're going to come in and have a 28-0 up on Georgia Bulldog? Do you thought that? No one had that expectation. It thought it'd be a game from
Hey,
first quarter. It's just what it
hey,
is.
we still came out with a W though. You can't pull up.
My
You
my
can't talk.
point my point exactly. That's my point exactly. Now, but here's what people got to realize. People said somebody asked me, who you going for in the Alabama and Georgia game? I had to go Alabama. Right? Know why? Because Georgia don't know what Alabama going to do. Why? New coach,
New
new
coach.
system, whole new yard. You got to prepare for that. It wasn't ready. But being who Georgia is, who Kirby Smart is, second half, he readjusted. They prevailed, got back on the board. Great game, and it came down to an interception in the last couple of minutes. So, hey, shouts out to TFA. Keep moving on.
Roll Tide.
Seminoles. Seminoles. Seminoles are doing that thing, Rose. Seminole. How about them Seminole? Bo Key. Somebody asked me, what is Bo Key? Listen, I've been going to San Francisco since 1988. I was going over there. I had a real good friend with some got people over there. And man, they had some talent even back then. Matter of fact, I don't know people when I was in my senior year, I was at UCF camp with Jeff Blake, who had a nice career over there in NFL. And I do football camp with Jeff Blake, who plays for Under Armour. But with that being said, let's talk about them Seminole fighting Seminole. Yeah, they did just what we thought they're going to do with Lake Franklin. We expect them to do. And here's why 61-8. But here's why I explain to everybody. Here's what I'm trying to explain to everyone. If you don't do that against the Lake Brantley team, you're not the top team like we expect you to be. Lake Brantley has been down for years now. They had a change. Once Clayton left, it's been tough for Lake Brantley. Even when they had the two All-American, Andrew and Micah Harris, one at UCF linebacker and one of them at Maryland Terrapin, right now linebacker. When they had them guys there, they won some games. They competed a little bit. But once they lost them guys and Coach Grant Miller them, it changed. It's tough for them out there now. But at the same time, some did what they meant to do. 61-8, took care of business in Seminole County. The rivalry is gone.
So, so I want to get to this next one real quick because that one's surprising a lot of people. We got DP. That's a 4-0. They surprised you this year?
Well,
Tell the
I
truth.
can't say it surprised me because I did talk to Coach Well and he did tell me this is gonna be a different year. And when Coach Well said it's gonna be a different year, you got to trust, you got to believe him because who he is and what he stand for and the type of person he is. So he said we got a lot of young guys that come up and a lot of maturity. They're gonna be a different year, and he definitely proved it. But now he was thinking that he was like, I don't know if I'm gonna beat no Lake Mary, but we got a couple things we seen. We can cap out a couple things. We got a chance to beat him. And that's exactly what he did. Dr. Phillips stayed home. Lake Mary Rams came in town. It was a sold out crowd. You couldn't even buy tickets on Friday morning. 6 o'clock, tickets was shut down. Big game, undefeated versus a 3-1 loss, which they should have been 4-0, to my opinion, against Lakeland. And you have it is now. You got a top quarterback, Noah Grubbs. You got a top quarterback over this side, to my opinion, Stanley Anderson. But one going to Middle Tennessee, one going to Notre Dame. Stanley Anderson has something to prove. He wasn't going to prove that he better than Noah Grubb. That's what he told me.
Now, question. I got this. We're on the sports club, and I want to get people perspective on this. This is one quick question. What's the biggest standout of why Noah Grubbs at Notre Dame and why Stanley is going to Middle Tennessee? No knock, you guys. No knock. I'm just asking a question to Coach Lowe to give his perspective on the lack of exposure, I'm gonna say, or opportunities. Is that it? Why he's not going to more prestige school? I would say.
Well, a lot of time it's a lack of exposure. That can be one big key there. Are you doing the extras? Are you going to all the camps? Are you going to the school? That does matter. And your stats matter. I mean, that's your stats does matter. And being on the team, being on Lake Mary, who always had a good team for the last 3 years with Noah Grubbs as the quarterback, and his stats not being sacked, but maybe 1-2 times in 2 years. You got to respect what he's doing. He got the film, and I think he got a little more film to Stanley, to my opinion. He had a lot of great targets he was throwing to that caught the ball that did very well. So, and going deeper in the playoffs than Dr. Phil did the last couple of years. So I feel like all that was a true factor. You know what I mean? And he's a very good quarterback. He got height, he got size, and he the prototype. Sit back up in the pocket, stand tall, throw the ball, whatever case might be. There's not too many prototypes anymore. Most quarterbacks are elusive, fast, can run. That's Stanley. But you already know too, a lot of school like the Notre Dames and bigger school like the Stanford, like prototype, drop back, throw the ball quarterback, lead us to the promised land. Noah Grubbs.
Yeah, so I thank you, Coach. I wanted you to get your reasoning for that. You said one key thing that came out. You don't know the extra preparation that each kid did, possibility to get the extra exposure, especially if your kid, like you just said, another thing too. Lake Mary went deep in the playoffs, and you already know a lot of the coaches or whatnot they're gonna get more exposure because they're in the playoffs compared to the regular season. So that can be a big takeaway too as well. So just for people that didn't really know that. So real quick, you guys. Go over the scores real quick so we can go to the next one. So DP just played Olympia, 42 donut. Olympia had I know they're having a down year. They had to rebuild. They lost they lost so many players last year, all seniors that started. So I know it's going to be a transition year for him. Then you see the score right there. DP over Lake Mary, 26-21. So that was the scores for that. Next, we're going to move. They got destroyed. But we're going to go to Bishop Moore next. Bishop Moore. No, well, sorry, you guys. I don't think this can't be accurate because Bishop Moore is not 4-0. This may have been beforehand because Bishop Moore just lost.
Well, yeah, Bishop Moore. Well, here's why I take my hats off to Bishop Moore because they're willing to go against the giant, right? And people always love using this phrase or this metaphor, David and Goliath. But it's cool, but every time, in this case here, David didn't win. But it's just what it is. Bishop Moore, now they're really truly battle tested. I mean, they went to get a couple games that gave them the battle here and there. I think Oviedo was a close game. They on to beat Mount Dora about a couple points. But Bishop Moore have a quarterback there with Bajoran that does very well, right? You got Kenya Austin, right? You have Ron Schroeder, them guys. You got a lineman down there name what is Blake Allen. Um, so you got some guys that can play on that team there. The thing about a Bishop Moore going to line against a team like St. Thomas Aquinas, you talk about some of the cream of the crop, the best of the best. What does that do for you? Some people say, don't play them, don't play them. They're going to kill you. Well, we kind of know that, but why they can't be the Northern Illinois University against Notre Dame and take them down? Why not to be the Appalachian State back in the day that took down Michigan? Why not? So, but why not play them to be battle test to see where you're at? So now kids know how to fight, fight, fight. Well, this game here, the mighty St. Thomas Aquinas, one of the top team in the nation over the last 10, 15 years, probably have more state championship than anybody. Hey, there you go, 50-15. They did put points on them. That might be the encouragement. Hey, we scored on the mighty St. Thomas Aquinas. You never know. I seen Trent Gomer line up against some of the best receivers in St. Thomas Aquinas, and hands down, click, click, lockdown, 3 pass breakup, couple single tackles. I mean, so that he been out a couple weeks. Now Trent Garmin has, I'm back. You know what I mean? I lined up I think about the first game back, and I get 3 breakdowns, some of the best wide receivers in the country. It gets no better than that. So, but at the same time, they did fall to a top team. I don't think they need to fall so far in our top 10 or fall at all. They did go to one of the best.
All right, so we're gonna go through this pretty quick, you guys, next because we had a kid coming up. I don't want to be on here so late because it's coming up to 9:30. So we got Egala. Egala sitting at 5-0. I'm gonna pull up what their score was this last game while Coach Lowe talked.
Yeah, E Gallard is shocking everybody right now where they are playing, and going, and it's kind of interesting. Like we didn't have in our originally top 10, but a lot of other people did have in their top 10, and they actually doing pretty well. And we're excited just to kind of put them in here, and it's almost like just recognizing other teams and stuff like that. When they play against University, who we had in our top 10, and University was like beating everybody and wondering why they wasn't in our top 10, because we had to make sure University is who they say they are. Well, you got to show that they wasn't. They were undefeated. They knocked them off 40-7. Then you got to beat Titusville. Tough battle, tough game. I don't know if the weather got to play the factor or not. 7-3.
Yeah.
You Galley still winning.
Yes, sir. It may play the part. I can't scroll down at this current moment. But let me go ahead and pull up the next one real quick. We have our good old Coco, who used to be number 2 on our list. That has dropped down to number 7. They are 3-2.
Well, I want people to stop talking about Coco's not that team, not that team. We drop it down because they lost, not because they're not that team. Because let's talk about who they lost again. One of the nationally talented ranked team, IMG, who's playing the best players around the country. I can't be mad because they lost against a team like that there. How can you be mad? So it's just what it is. It's hard for me to just take them totally off our board because they play against some of the best in the country. But then you got to go live against Venice, who 2 years ago beat everybody to sleep and won the state championship. Now they come back. They add Winston Watkins, a 4-star wide receivers on the team. He go crazy. And it's a tick for tack, 54-51. Coco go down by 3 against another top team in the state. Coco, keep riding out.
It's 51-54. All right. Next on our list, we have undefeated West Orange. They're gonna be tested though Tuesday though. West Orange is definitely undefeated right now.
Well, you got to remember, West Orange showed everybody that, hey, we lost some key players. West Orange lost some key players this year that go to other schools, and hey, props to them. I always tell people, go what works for you. Do what benefit your son, do what benefit your family, and make sure you don't look backwards. Once you go, you go. All a high school coach, like Gino, can do is just coach what's there. If they there, coach them up. They leave, wish them well. Don't bad talk them. Don't bash them. Just wish them well. And give other kids the opportunity to step up. But my son played at the University of Notre Dame. Every time Brian Kelly say, next man up, next man up. My son snaps his Achilles at Notre Dame as a starting cornerback in a year they went undefeated, play against Alabama, undefeated season. It was his year. But guess what? Next man up. A freshman guy walked in. Last name was Cole. Freshman All-American. He goes to NFL. My son got a career doing TV and film production in California. Your path is your path. Those that stay, coach them up. Shout out to Gino, because you did something that I was not happy with. You made me bleed blue. I was so sad that I'm gonna cut myself, but I realized if I cut myself, blue gonna come out. They're gonna think I'm an alien, and I'm not an alien. So that being said, they took down the mighty APK. The defense couldn't hold up, offense couldn't get it done. APK, back to the single wing. APK, back to the single wing. Defense strong. We want to get beat 35-0. Shout out to West Orange to be in the top 10 Sports Club Florida.
All right, then. So that was number 8. They just came. That's new on the list. We got D-Land 4-1. D-Land, that's 4-1. Let's talk a little bit
Well,
about them, Coach Lowe. While I pull up the score.
D-Land, I told y'all once, I told you again. It come down to coaching. I don't care what nobody say. Since the Gerke boys, my coach, I don't think there's a better coach than Coach Rick Darlington. And on the line aside of now in the new 2000s, 2020s, you got Elijah Williams and Rodney Wells that's really doing an amazing job. But y'all see what you want to say? Rick Darlington is that guy. He believed in it. Hokey Hay, believe in the blue, die for my brother. He always tried to be a good man, good husband, good father, and great football player. And look at D-Land, deep in the playoff last year with quarterback Moore, now playing up there in college. But then he got his little brother that's making move. This kid right here named Taj Moore is for freshman sensation, scoring touchdown every game. They can't do hardly nothing with him. But at the same time, they did prevail a little bit and went 56-20 against Deltona. They lined up against Spruce Creek, which we had on here before. We're trying to see what happened. And sure enough, you see a strong Spruce Creek that's always in the other people's top 10. And D-Land did what they can do, but they did fall 40-13 to Spruce Creek.
Yes, sir. And then they beat the crap out of Deltona. So next up, we got, this is new on the list. Leesburg.
Leesburg. You know what? A lot of times you look at Lake County, you're like, what is in Lake County? Why should I even put a Lake County even on our top 10? Why would you even talk? Them team can't beat nobody over here. Well, people don't forget now, Lake Minneota 3 years ago with head coach Walter Banks was 7A state runner-up against Miami Central. That speaks volume. So Lake County, like you think, don't get them fool you. Now, Stephen Moffitt went to Leesburg. They had a good season, went in the playoffs, but then they left it over to Coach Scott. Coach Scott get over there, and now he's doing well with Leesburg. They fight every single week. Now, here's what I knew Leesburg still for real. When you play against a tough team like Ocala Vanguard, and you had a chance to win it, but you fall 21-14, that's big time football. You got a freshman over there that's grabbing touchdown. He's a new freshman. He's also going to be the fresh All-American Bowl invited this week. Mr. Garrison over there, Lamar Garrison, was excited about that. This kid right here doing well. They got a lot of great guys. They got a Florida State commit. They're doing great things. They did squeak it out. They squeaked it out. My grandma said, when you walk, you squeak. When you walk, you squeak. Well, guess what? They squeaked it out and took down Lando Lake 20-19. Welcome to the club, Sports Florida Club, Leesburg.
Now I will say this: they were undefeated. They lost to Vanguard the week before, 21-14. So what we're about to do, you guys, we're gonna go recap this real quick. The 10. We have Jones number 1, TFA number 2, Seminole number 3, Dr. Phillips 4, Bishop Moore 5, Egalis 6, Cocoa 7, West Orange, which is new, number 8, D-Land. We had on there. I think we had it on there last week. And then Leesburg is new. So the West Orange, Leesburg is the 2 new teams we have on our top 10. We'll recap and give y'all our game of the week on Wednesday. Next, the 2 transitions we're about to go to. We're about to bring in a young kid here. Young kid. So I'm going to come here and talk to Coach Lowe. And then we're going to transition to a little bit of college I want to talk about. So Coach Lowe, go ahead and talk, and I'll bring him in a minute.
Well, I tell you one thing. What we try to do here on Sports Club Florida, and especially when you're listening low, and shout out to my boy Katt. Get well, buddy. See you on Wednesday night, hopefully. Here's the thing. Let's impact our young athlete that's doing big things. Everybody always asks that question, should I play 14U football? Everybody asks that question. Should I play 14U? Should I play 14U? Well, I don't. I'm a 50-50 with that because it's not enough team to play. It's not as fun. It's not as competitive. It's less kids. Sometimes you got to have a 13 play to 14U. I'm so freaking confused on that. Why 14U is playing 13U? Do you mind what they made it 14U like we used to do back in the day? This single A football is crazy. I'm just keeping it real. But hey, I'm just Coach Lowe to give my opinion. But what I will say, kids that decide that they want to play eighth grade ball in high school, that is smart. All you got to do is find a private school that you can go to at the eighth grade to have a varsity team and play varsity football. Get film as an eighth grader. I got a kid right now that did it, Noah Maddox. He played varsity for Central Florida Christian Academy Eagles. That year they won district. He was all district, and he played linebacker. He transferred to Boone, and he finally made his way to TFA. He hold 3-4 offers, and he the starting linebacker. Seventh grade playing on varsity. It's possible it can do it. Now you're playing on Friday. Forget the Saturday. You're getting coached up. You're in a locker room. Now I got a kid right now that's doing some amazing thing. And crazy about it, you know what he want to do. Last year, nobody ain't talked about him. He go over here to play at this school, and they talking about it. My guy coming up right now is a starting free safety. And he's also he's a starting wide receiver. He's at Central Florida Christian Academy Eagles. His name is Nashawn Dry, and we're so have him on the show. Nashawn, what's going on?
What's up, Coach Lowe?
What
Oh
up? What
man, I'm
up?
just chilling like a million, trying to get a billion. You know what I mean? But I tell you,
I'm glad you
hey,
fixed your I'm glad you fixed your camera, but your whole head was cut off. I wanted you to. I'm glad you. I'm
I
glad
had
you
to
took
get
it.
I had to get a little bit back in the screen.
yeah,
Okay,
I
thank
got
you.
you. Listen, Nashawn, man, listen, thank you for coming on the Sports Club Florida talking to Coach Lowe. Man, this is a major thing going on right here because it's a great opportunity for us to give a platform for our young athletes here in Central Florida, especially when you're an eighth grader playing on varsity. That is, I mean, you people say what they want to say. I don't care if it's citrus lead, no lead, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. It don't matter because that is a whole nother mindset, a whole nother journey. Playing varsity as an eighth grader. How you feel right now being in this position as an eighth grader playing on varsity at Central Florida Christian Academy?
Man, it's great. I just can't really explain. Just great opportunity I was blessed with, and great teammates, great coaches. It's just a great opportunity I was blessed with.
Well, you know what? It's funny. And I remember last year watching you played FBU, and I was saying, I know you played with the West Orlando Jags. 13, you are a national champion, and then but like there's a lot of top players all around that team, and the opportunity. I know. I'm gonna keep it. One thing about Coach Lowe, and you listen to Lowe, we're gonna keep it raw. Your opportunity was very limited, and then but it's looked like you made a promise to yourself. I'm gonna transition. I'm gonna work hard my off season. I'm gonna change myself. I'm gonna change my dynamic. I'm gonna go to a place where I have an opportunity to be great. Is that right? Is I'm saying that right, Nashawn?
Yes, yes, sir. Most definitely.
So what did you do to transition yourself to go from okay, I'm on the team and I'm playing here and there, and to now we look on the Twitter touchdown Nashawn Drive, pick Nashawn Drive. I'm like, whoa, what? That's cool. That's amazing. What did you do to get to that point?
I did a whole bunch of work this off season with my DB coach, Coach Rico at Ocoee High School. I did a lot of weight training with my weight training coach, Coach Derek. They helped me a whole lot get to where I am now. Just pushing myself every day to be better. Just to make sure when I get this opportunity, I do everything I can with it.
Well, you definitely seen it doing a lot of things with it. I remember it's so funny. I was talking to one of the coaches. I said, Deshaun Dry, the man over there at Central Florida Christian Academy, doing very well on the coach Kevin Blackman, the new head coach. I said, yes, I said, for real. I said, man, he's doing well. I said, I'm about to train him. That boy was slow. But he worked hard. You know what I mean? I remember him and his brother training with us to excel. I was like, yeah, well, you ain't seen him now. That joke about 6 feet tall. He's like, what? I said, yeah, sometimes it take time to get that baby fat off and transition that body, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that hard work pays off, right? That's what we tell everybody too. When you work hard, you want it, you go get it. hard work equals fun, right? But ain't no fun sitting on the bench. Because we know there's no rewards on the bench. We don't know rewards, and
Right.
enough of that. But now you go over here to CFCA and you work with Coach Kevin Blackman. Tell me about Coach Kevin Blackman. How you feel about him and how he's working with you guys and building young men.
Man, he's great. Every day he pushing us at practice, just helping us get better every day, helping us with our mistakes, helping us, just always pushing us. He's just a great coach, just a great person to have with us.
Well, I'm glad to be part of him. I brought him on with us with FPU this year and brought him on there helping us out, doing something and building a program at Central Florida Christian Academy. Because people have to understand last year, they were, a couple years ago, they had Jeremy Cameron, and years before that, they had their 10-0 season, and one of the top teams in their division, one of the top teams in the state, were picked to win the conference and win their championship. But they had a little hiccup. It happens to the best of us. But at the same time, it didn't stop Coach Kevin from stepping up, grabbing some guys, and just try to win, whether it's an opportunity for a state or a chance just to win and build young men. When you agree?
Yes, sir. I definitely agree. The players that he brought in, especially this year, just helping us a lot.
And so, do you think like they brought in you, they brought in a couple of the guys, and like you're young, you're eighth grade. I mean, do you think like that's a good? I mean, you and your father and your parents made a good decision. Like, okay, let's go here, let's get some positive film, let's play for high school. But we have to remember now. Let's remember if you do this, you're gonna be with seniors. You're 14, 13, 14 years old. You're over here with 18-year-old boy got girlfriends and driving cars. They in the locker room, taking off their shirt, looking like big muscle man. No, they in the weight room throwing up 225, and they got all the girls, and they got all this. They got, I'm just keeping it real. No, you gotta listen to them. It's different than that youth football stuff now. Totally different, right? So you getting a different experience. Do you feel like this was the best decision y'all made to get this experience for you?
Yes, sir. I definitely think it was a great decision by me and my parents. Just all the CSCA, just like a big family, just a big community, just all helping each other become great.
Yeah, I see a lot of eighth graders still playing youth football that had an opportunity to go into school like Central Florida Christian Academy and just get opportunity to play. Whether 22, 23 players on the team, but you play on Friday night. There are people in the stand, the fans in the stand. You get to score a touchdown. You feel good. You feel great. You walk through the hall. Everybody like, hey, the drive, drive, drive. They talk about you on Twitter. They talk about you on Channel 9. I'm retweeting it. Everybody talking about it. And now you're on the Sports Club Florida, Listen to Low show, talking right now, right? I mean, hey, how many people want to have this opportunity to talk and build a network system? People know who is not Sean Dry, who's the guy that catching game-winning touchdown, who's the guy that's kind of practice to be a leader and be a captain, who's the guy that didn't have all the opportunity before, like, and come back now and can say, I scored a touchdown, I scored a touchdown. All your friends can say they are dominating at the ninth grade in high school, but you can say it too. It don't matter if it's low level or high level. Proud of you for standing tall and going in and making a decision to play for Central Christian Academy to start your high school campaign. So, how you feel about the teammate? Talk to me.
Just teammates are great over there. Just whole bunch of fun, great people, just much of positivity, just helping each other become great.
Well, I
Yep.
love that about you, man. And academic, I know you got to stand tall to academic. I don't know if they gave your grades out yet. Where you seeing that on GPA right now?
I'm around a 3.4, 3.5.
Oh,
There we
that's
go.
good.
Private school, tough academic, school first, student athlete. I know your father and your parents are definitely on top of that right there too. So not only do we have a football player, we have a student athlete, eighth grade at Central Florida Christian Academy. Mr. Right Choice. Anything you want to just chime in on, Mr. Nashawn Drop?
Yeah, yeah. Before I let you go, just two things. One, kudos to you. I interview a lot of kids, and you talk very well, and you give out great answers when Coach Lowe was speaking to you. Set of one word answers. You did really good. So keep that up, and I know the more you talk on camera, get in a camera like this, you'll get better and better. So great job on that.
Thank you.
Also, number two, how big of do you? Let me see how can I word this coming from 100K boys to playing now starting, do you think that made you who you are today, playing at an early, like starring right now early?
Yes, sir, definitely. Coach Tay, Coach Josh, they really just helped me build me since 11U from to where I am now. Just helped me build who I am. So when I get to the big stage, it's nothing new. I've already been there before.
Okay, that's the question I want to ask, and that was a good response too as well. Now, question: what are the same kids you played with from 11U to 13U? All y'all stuck together
Not
for
all
the most
stuff
part?
together, but for the most part, yeah. Really, most of the teammates that really stays connected was on 12U because some of our 11U players was like left and went to different teams. Like a couple of them went to Osceola and some other teams. And on 12U, when we was on 11U, David Coleman, Kenny Alton, I think that's his last name. They
Yes.
was all together with us. So we all stay connected. We all was like a big family over there.
And I
Yeah.
like that too as well. And I can see you kept on talking about team, team, team. And I know y'all had a great group of team, 12U and 13U, because I followed y'all both. And I can see, where you talking about how passionate you are, and also describing how great the coaches is. So I could definitely see it in you. And we look forward to continue to watch your journey in high school as you get better and better year after year after year. I don't want to get you on here too long. I know you got school tomorrow, but I want to say thank you again for coming on here. To your dad, I said for allowing you to come on here and tell him thank you. And we'll see you hopefully by the end of the year, praise you on some other great things that you're doing.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem, no problem.
Well, there you go. You had it right there for Nashon Dry. You're talking about eighth grader, Central Florida Christian Academy, doing very well on both sides of the ball. Like I say, we wanted to bring the kids on the Sports Club Florida, just, hey, talk, put them on a platform. Let them talk, let them learn. You've seen it right there. Very well spoken, young man. And I know he's been raised right. It's called right in the household. No matter, what program they come from, but all I say is all about what happened at home. And wow, you could tell their parents doing a great job. And now he's been sitting and put him in one of the best student athlete schools, in my opinion, as a student at Central Florida Christian Academy. Shout out to Coach Blackman over there, Coach Ben, Coach Terry. You guys doing an amazing job. And Coach Kyle for allowing these guys to come in and be part of this program. I can see in the future with the Central Florida Knights over there and a lot of people seeing what's going on. There'll be a lot of changes over there very soon. So stay tuned. With that being said, guys, we want to transition right quick, Mr. Right Short, before we close it up. A lot of things going on in college. A lot of things
Yeah,
going
I
on in
guess so.
college. And I
So
tell you one thing, I just want to point this out. We always look at the big school, Power Five, Power Five, Power Five. Let me tell you something. Central Florida got kids everywhere.
this week, yeah, besides Miami.
Besides Miami, right? You
And
see,
they
we got
almost lost.
they almost lost. Look at you. You just saying that because Roll Tide almost lost. How about that?
But before you kick it in real quick, and I like how you said the big schools, because the reason I want to talk about this, let's dive into NIL. NIL is going crazy right now from UNLV and USC. I'm gonna talk about USC. Reggie Bush is suing USC because they use his name, image, and likeness for all them years making money.
Mm.
How do you think? If he wins that suit or whatnot, do you believe other people like him gonna do the same exact thing?
Well, he's not gonna win that suit. Good luck, cause that's
Why?
how it was. That's how it was back in the day. You're not gonna be able to go backwards. Cut it out, right? You do that right there. You are destroyed for all other future athletes and
What?
everybody.
That's what I thought of too.
So
Same
so so cut
same
it out.
thing.
You're not gonna beat them. You're not gonna win. So like I said, I mean, listen. Don't get me wrong. I ain't no psychic or nothing, but I don't think it's waste of time. I don't think it should be done because not everybody's going to be running back to try and get money, money, money. And remember, I said money ball versus football. Now, if you go mess with that money and they give you all the money, now you mess
Everybody
with
gonna
the
be
kids
doing.
that coming in money. Now, what are we doing? So now everybody's sitting out. Look at the kids that's sitting out. They want more money
UNL.
to make these promises. It's a mess.
No, I like the good transition. Let's talk about three kids that I know of. You may know more. The quarterback for UNLV, the running back for UNLV, and the big old lineman that came from Georgia that went to USC. All three of them red shirted because how many? Tell me if I'm wrong. 4 games in, you can play 4 games in their red
Yes,
shirt.
yes, sir.
4 games. All four of them play 4 games. They red shirt. All because I know UNLV. I'm not sure about the guy Bear they call him at USC. all I know the UNLV one is I think they went to the school, promised for something, and they didn't get it, or they promised it and they feel like they want more money because the school's undefeated. One of the
Both.
two.
I think one of them wanted more money because they felt like they deserve more money, and the other was promised money and didn't get the money. But don't it all stemmed back to the lineman that went to Alabama, then went back, and got the 300,000, left Alabama, went back to oh
What
God, Iowa
Texas or something like
State,
that?
Iowa State, some up there, left there, went back, then went back. Come on, guy. You know what? He walked away with 500,000 free money. So hey, money ball versus football. That's the name of the game.
But you can Besides the NIL is crazy. And you get to see from this last week that players are just red shirt up. Bro, they 3-0. Why would you red
Yeah.
both of them? Both of them, and I'm glad they won. UNLV won. They still undefeated. Backup came in. He balled out. They're undefeated. I don't know. I think USC won too as well, but I don't think Bear was balling this year. When I was reading about Bear, they got a new coach that came in. He wasn't playing that much or something like that. The big old boy, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Alexander. So,
Alexander.
but let's go. Let's transition and talk real quick. That was a little bit of NIL I want to talk about. Let's talk about this Florida. Is the transfer portal, are we seeing a huge impact now? Because I'm seeing schools that's undefeated, that's usually not undefeated, or they're like 4-1, like Kentucky beating Ole Miss,
Yep.
ranked
Yeah.
number 7. SAMU destroying Florida State. Tulane killed USF. I was super surprised on that. Virginia take Miami, whatever. I'm trying to think. What's another team? Florida. Did Florida Gators play?
You're off this week. Thank God they won.
Yeah, I don't know about FIU and FAU. I'm not sure about them too.
Listen. If you go to Vegas and sit in the sports book club and bet on the underdogs, you win.
Yes, I
You
believe
can bet that they're not going to win by this much or that much, because no one knows. You don't know anymore who's going to win. And why? Because you got teams that have top transfers on the team. Guys that was at this school got bumped or got put in the portal. That's not going to change. So if you look at Florida itself, they're just moving. And here's a new thing. Here's a new thing I just found out. Oh my God. If I'm wrong on this one, I apologize. You can go in the red, you can red shirt as a sophomore, as a junior. You can red shirt.
That's what what's his name just did. Big old
I'm
Bear
like-
just did that.
I'm like, I thought you get red shirt if you don't play that first year. You red shirt you, or you get medical red shirt. Now you can just red shirt. I'll tell you, I ain't gonna call. I'm one of my boys.
Alexander just did the big boy from Georgia at USC.
Right. No, you ain't playing me. I'm gonna red shirt, and then I'm gonna go in the portal, and you get that other year back. So let's say you're a junior and you red shirt. Now when you go in the portal, instead of being a senior next year, get what you are, a red shirt. Now you got how many years? 2 years. But here's the problem with red shirt, and I want people to understand and listening. Once you red shirt, you're blackball. You just got blackball.
Why you say that?
Because you went to the coach and said, listen, coach, I'm not hurt. I'm not injured. But I'm not playing. So since I'm not playing, you ain't going to play me?
You ain't talking about the old days. You talking about right now. If I go
Right
to play,
now.
but I want to. Okay.
You're blackball. Now they're saying, well, you ain't going to play. So basically you saying you quit. You ain't on the team. When you went to him for a red shirt, they ain't coming you for a red shirt. You went to him for a red shirt. So now you basically saying you quit in their eyes. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people have to do it. Because it's mentally tough to say when a coach tell you, I'm going to give you $100,000 and if you're going to play and you're going to start and you dominate in practice, they don't play you, that's mental. You better have the right people behind you, the right support, some therapists all behind you. I'm telling you, I'm going through that a little bit right now. Thank gosh, my daughter, she able to play. And that will helping us right now mentally be strong. Because a little opportunity better than no opportunity. But if you ain't getting no opportunity and they lied to you, it's mental on these kids. And now, guess what? They ready to go. And sometimes I don't blame them. But someone got to be careful because what can happen next year? You didn't play this year. You didn't play that year. And you put yourself in the portal. The coach going to say that you quit on the team. Where you going? You don't went from an opportunity.
That's the only thing I don't like. Okay, I can understand the money point they lied, but dog, as a player, as a team, and they looking at you to win, like UNLV. I'm like, I said the money was that much important that you quit on your team, the running back and quarterback.
Of course, know why? Know why? Another school I read on calling behind the back door and say, "Hey, we'll give you
But
more money."
but as
Come on, guy.
UNLV, but as UNLV, they should have did their own research when they start having whole.
Well, hey, I know they ain't got no money in the doggone way in Vegas, but they don't give UNLV no money. Huh?
So
They don't.
so real quick on the NIL. So what is the problem? What is the problem with Florida State? NIL transfer portal. What is the issue going on right
Florida
now? What do you
State,
think?
Florida State, to my opinion, Florida State having a great year last year. They lost some key guys. The O-line coach was suspended for the first 3 games with that some illegal stuff they said was going on. They didn't get the right guys they want to get in as a NIL. They lost guys like Cam Ward. Case might be the coach they got. To my opinion, I love Mike Norvell and all these guys, but they got some old school guys up there that might make a change a little bit. And I just think these guys are not playing. I don't know whether they still mad and upset and boo-hooing about last year,
That's
but if they are, get over it and
carry
get it
over.
done.
Well, that could definitely carry over. So
Yeah.
what do you think is the issue with the Gators? Is it the same exact thing?
Gators, I don't think Gators never really had the best players came in. They got some nice, tight, young players that are pretty good to my opinion. But just watching them myself personally in the game, but no, they probably a little better this year. I think they will find a way, find the right answer, but they don't have NIL money to give up either. So all said and done, Nick Saban said it best: if you want the best players, you better pay them. So if you can't pay, you don't play. You don't play, you don't win.
That's why he retired too. So other question I have for you. So because Sports Club Florida is all based about Florida. Do you think in the next couple of years that all majority of the Florida schools going to be more competitive with each other with NIL and also with transfer portal, the portal?
Well, I listen, they talk about the NIL, but realistically, what is a high school NIL? What
No,
what
no,
what
no, no.
is it?
College. Talking about college.
Oh, college. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No
Well,
college.
yeah, until and if they start putting out the money,
Everybody's gonna be competitive. You think every
they'll
most of all the Florida schools
they'll stay home. Stay home. Why go to Texas? Why the number one running
with
back from Florida went way to Texas when he passed all these schools? Why did the back go way to Texas? Why did the lineman Paxton, Big Paxton, go all the way to Texas? Not here at Colorado. Why did Jimmy Horn leave USF to go all the way to Colorado? Why? Because they're not paying the money. I'm sorry. It's just
well,
what it
look.
is.
So if that problem happens, a lot of schools gonna be in trouble because, like you just said, it goes back in the day when Miami was great, Florida Gators, everybody stayed home. When you had a whole county go to one school because everybody was balling. I can say one good example. UCF. UCF does a fantastic job of recruiting kids in Central Florida. That a lot of them start actually. They recruit a lot from this area here. So I see a big difference going to possibility that can technically happen. If a lot of people have money, a lot of kids are gonna start staying the boy from the boy that's in Ohio State that's killing it right now. He went to Ohio State instead of going to Miami. That could have been a hometown thing there too as well. He went way to Ohio State.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm gonna put it this way: who's the number one team in Florida right now?
Miami.
They got the best NIL deals.
That is 100%. That's 100% correct too, and they're
So
undefeated.
So let's close it up on that right there and talk and get some shout out to a couple guys right here from Central Florida doing a great job. Central Michigan, my boy, right from the Ocoee Knights, Jason William, turn up big solo sack this weekend. Shout out to Jason William, man, did an amazing job this weekend. Zane Durant rised up again over there at Penn State, another D tackle that did an amazing job. Shout out to him, great job. Michael Harris, Maryland, another big game for him. Did a great job. I listen, Colorado, yes, Colorado did do their thing, but I got to get a shot to Braden Marshall. He was flying around like it was. I mean, that was big time to let young 5'10", 170 pounds flying around like that, going down, taking the boys down. So I thought that was awesome too. Just a shout out to a couple of the guys from there. Kendo Boiler, FAMU, FAMU already doing big things. Looking at a guy who possibly going to get the next guy to get drafted out of FAMU will be Kendall Border right here from O'Coy Knights. Had a big game, big interception, and he's gonna get opportunity. Already gonna get picked to play in the big All-Star Bowl, Senior Bowl game. So excited about that. Shout out to Kendall Border.
All right. Well, thanks, Coach Lowe, for that shout out. Before we head off, I know Coach Lowe had his FBU camp today. Give us some pros. Give us some great things you and kids on from today's camp.
Like I say, last year was a kind of down year a little bit for us. Bringing some of the best kids in Central Florida to play, we had a little hiccup. But like they said, when a house is built on integrity, a little paint might get chipped off. But when it's built on integrity, it stands tall. Well, I know everything that I'm doing right here is built on integrity. And I love this year. Here's why. Not only did we get some of the top coaches in Central Florida that come coach, be part of FBU, we brought in our Under Armour 8th grade All-American alumni, our future Under Armour 8th grade All-American, our All-American Freshman All-American Bowl came out. They all came out and represented. They coached and trained the kids today. They gave back along with all our coaches. It was amazing. Where the line wrapped around the corner. Last year, we had about 89 kids. We had 82 eighth graders trying out this year. Add it all together, we put together a Big Mac and a Whopper side by side with extra sauce and cheese on it. 197 athletes came through the door today to play for
That's crazy.
Central Florida. Shout out to Central Florida moms and dads.
That's a great that's a great number right there on Sunday, boy.
Yes, sir.
Almost two. So it was more than the camp that I came to during the summer.
Or that was a battle to pick because we had high school kids get to come. That count was 250 plus. This right here was 197, just middle school and
that's
a lot of kids that came. And here's what I love. My gosh. They came from Daytona, Ocala, Lakeland, Polk County, Cocoa, DeLand, Deltona, Orlando, Winter Spring, Davenport, Sanford, Spruce Creek. I'm just Winter Haven. I mean, I was like, they was from everywhere. Polk County was in the building. They wanted to represent Polk County. That because we built that relationship with Arbondale and Purdy, who does their social media page, and then Bartow coaches sent their guys down here to be part of what we was doing. So it's amazing.
Oh, for real? From the media day?
Yes, sir. Polk County Elite was in the building. They was here. I'm talking about. I was shout out to. We even had. Hey, listen. For the first time in a long time, I mean, I was shocked. TMJ had some of their top players at the camp. We had some alpha dogs at the trial. Alpha dog, TMJ, Sanford, Ocoee, Uphocker, every Pop Warner, for Elite T. I'm like, what is going on? Great experience, great job, great.
Hope you had somebody fill in my spot.
I had to get 4 people to come in to fill up shop. My boy, Mr. Right Choice, because he didn't show up for me today. He feel like Devin Hess is more important than me. I run the city. I am the plug. I'm not a Hall of Famer of Miami in the NFL, but I'm the Hall of Famer of the youth community of Central Florida. That's why I brought big hits. I had Will Diamond Media. I had Mario known for media. I had Justin Johnson down here for media.
But, hey, I'm glad you had enough people. I'm going to be on top of them. Make sure they post all this stuff.
You better believe it.
So I can show on Wednesday recap some of the best kids. So yeah, I like that. So one thing I want to say about this guys that's watching this, that he just said there was 200 kids that came from everywhere. And we did a media day. The impact of that media day led to this. So this lets you know, we talked about exposure. These kids must know that FBU gives them exposure and gives them opportunity, because nobody would come if this wasn't the case. If this wasn't the case for FBU to give kids exposure, nobody would be there. It'd be like 5 kids or no kids, 200 kids. So that lets you know that something has happened that's great, that's powerful, that's working, because he went from 80 to 200 in 1 year. No video promotions, no nothing like that. Most I've just been seeing is a dang flyer. A flyer that's been going out. That'll let you know how powerful the word is of FBU and the coaches they have. So to end it off, you guys, stay connected. Stay tuned to Sports Club Florida, because a lot of great things is coming down the pipeline. So stay tuned. FBU coming up. Cure Bowl is coming up. Football season going by super fast. We're on week 7. High school and then even college is going by fast. We're on week 5. So stay tuned, you guys. We out. FSU in the building, baby.
Hand on the game, we are not playing the same. No, we not looking to change. Hand on the road, they think we lacking the drive. Boy, you should stay in your lane. Foot on the gas, I do not care if I crash.